Welcome to Mario Manetee's Steel Diver for the Nintendo 3DS walkthrough. Sorry about that camera focus at the beginning, but anyway, as I mentioned in my Super Mario Galaxy 2 walkthrough, I said that I might be able to someday figure out how to record videos for my 3DS and all that. So, and I actually figured it out. I actually figured out how to record videos so that I can upload videos that have like 3DS or DS. So I've got a lot more gaming options. And I chose Steel Diver because, for one, it's a great game, really fun. And two, I really like its design. It's pretty unique. You won't find that many submarine games quite like it. So, yeah, I don't have much more to say. So, without further ado, let us begin the game. So, basically, when you tap the touchscreen, it gives you three different modes. You have missions, basically the normal regular mode, the mode that's the most important in this game. You have Periscope Strike, and you have Steel Commander, which is basically a two-player game. So I'm going to be doing missions for the first time. So this game hardly has any story, but I'll let you hear the story. Well, not hear it, watch it right here. Pretty nice story, if you ask me. That's where they get the Steel Diver. That's how they get this game's name. They're known as the Steel Divers. So down on the bottom screen, you have two choices. Campaign, you can complete the mission objectives, time trials, race against the clock, of course, and you can also view your records. And one more thing I would like to mention is that I've already completed this game. In fact, a day ago, as of filming this. So everything has been already done, but this game really doesn't matter because you don't really need, unlike the Galaxy series of Mario, you don't really need. You can really just complete the game and then continue from there to do a walkthrough. So yeah, that's basically why I chose Steel Diver. I'm sorry I keep bumping the camera. This is just a new concept for me. So anyway, I'm going to be doing the campaign missions. So basically, if you look on the bottom screen, when you have this game yourself, you will notice that you have 8 different options. You can go to training, which will basically teach you all of the basics of the submarines. You can go to mission 1, 2, 3, 4, and mission 5. There are 2 more missions, which I won't mention, that you will need to unlock. And I'll explain how to unlock it later in this walkthrough. So I'm not going to do training. That's to do on your own time when you first get the game. And besides, training is basically the same thing as mission 1. And speaking of mission 1, we are going to do it. Actually, if you can make out the lettering, I'm going to hit mission 1 again. I'm going to let you read about each mission because it does give a little description. And that's pretty much the description of mission 1. As you can see, it shows my high score. Because that, like I said, I've already played this game before completely. And the time limit, each mission has a time limit, but you probably shouldn't have too many issues with time limits in this game, I found. So the time limit is 10 minutes for mission 1. So without further ado, the music becomes epic. So basically here you can choose between 3 submarines, or you can race against a ghost. And yeah, that's about it. So basically you have 3 subs, as I mentioned. You have the Manatee, a small, highly maneuverable sub that can fire missiles vertically. Very useful. The mid-sized Blue Shark. And also the powerful sub Serpent with limited maneuverability. If you look closely, you can see the captain's faces. And also I guess Nintendo decided to name, or rather the Navy, in this game's case, decided to name each sub after an animal. So yeah, so basically you have all 3 subs. I find the Manatee, smallest craft, to be the easiest to get used to. It's just very maneuverable, as it says right there. So I like it the most. Probably the Serpent is my least favorite craft. It's just hard to move around. So one more thing before we go to the first mission, because the first episode is kind of like just explaining everything. So right here you have all these decals. Decals basically grant you special powers. Now because I've played this game before, and I've completed it, I have all the decals, but when you start, you won't have any, I think. You might have a couple, but that's about it. So I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but just saying decals grant you special powers, and it's really useful for some kinds of levels. So anyway, here we go with the Manatee. And oh, by the way, I do not want a decal for mission 1. It's too easy. So on the bottom screen, you basically see your forward and reverse control, your dive and surface control. You can fire torpedoes, and with the Manatee, like I said, you can fire torpedoes up, like I just did. You can use the masker to confuse enemy homing torpedoes, and but that does use up your air gauze, so don't use it too much. So anyway, this is an enemy right here. Let's sneak up on him. And I just love it when you blow up. It also tells you your depth on the bottom screen and your speed on the bottom screen. And you see up there in the top top left corner, that's your damage meter, and that also explains your time up there, of course. So your damage meter, if it goes all the way down, you know what happens. Your sub sinks. Okay, also another thing in this game, you have mines all over the place. So just look out for them. And sometimes when you take damage, you actually spring a leak on the bottom screen. And when that happens, you have to plug it with the stylus. So it's a pretty cool concept. And okay, here's another enemy sub. And he just died. Like, that was so hard. And let me mention that the music in this game and the sound effects are all pretty good. I'm relatively impressed. They really captured the essence of piloting an actual sub. So coming up here, I'd recommend you stay on the surface for a while until you see this enemy submarine. Because shooting from the surface is not very accurate, because the torpedoes just go straight down under the water again most of the time. So we're going to go back down, because there is an enemy ship coming up right here. Okay, stop. Goodbye. Down here, you'll encounter some rocks in this game too. You can torpedo those. Sometimes they let out water currents that push you forward really fast. But actually, you want to kind of stop right here because you have to destroy these blocks. Oh, I just got 2 of them. Okay, that's good enough. And now, basically, all you want to do is head up. Because that is where the goal is. Also, where can you find a sub that jumps out of the water like that? So unfortunately, I don't have any more time in this part. So in the next part, I will do the post-mission periscope strike, and I'll explain what it does in the next part. See you in the next part.